Bermuda, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take you to. Wait, Bermuda. That doesn't work. Hello, and welcome to the next episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, Quarantine Edition. The podcast where Matt and Todd watch a movie from a top 100 list on Netflix, and then we talk about it and discuss it, how we feel, how life's going. We wait for your response to see how you felt about the movie, and we all get along. My name is Todd Domer.
And I'm Matt Malloy, and welcome to this episode where we will be discussing a movie. But first, a word from our sponsor. Our sponsor is the Santa Fe Writers Project, or SFWP for short. SFWP is an independent publishing house that has been helping authors and books connect with the world for 22 years with a wide range of fiction and creative nonfiction. The founder, director, and friend to the podcast, Andrew Gifford, has offered 25% off to all of our listeners when you order direct through his website, sfwp.com. Just use the coupon code MOVIES when you check out. That's MOVIES as a coupon code, 25% off. Thank you, Santa Fe Writers Project, for helping make magic happen here at Matt and Todd Go to the Movies. Everyone go support a small business and buy some books. So,
Buy some books.
yes, indeed. So today we're going to be reviewing a movie. Our random number generator hit number 1 out of 100 possible options. So therefore you get an A movie, and that movie is American Honey. So what is this movie about? Wow. Well, it is a long movie, coming in at 2 hours, 45 minutes. And it is about the main character is named Star, and 18-year-old woman who is in a bad situation. She's kind of having to take care of her little brother and sister, and they're not well off. So enter a band of roving magazine subscription sellers who travel around the country and are partially led by Shia LaBeouf, who plays the character. I forget even what his character's name is, but the actor, Shia
It's
LaBeouf.
Jake.
Guy. Jake, yes, thank you. So Jake and a whole van full of other people of a young age. We're going to say everybody's like 18 to 22 or something, somewhere in that range. And so they're living the wild and free life, going around selling magazine subscriptions and partying otherwise. So Star connects with this group and decides she's going to leave kind of her situation, which involves abuse and neglect in a big way, and drops her little brother and sister off with their mom and hightails it out of her hometown and starts traveling around. And the rest of it is really just kind of selling magazine subscriptions and partying hard with this group of young adults. So that's kind of the setup for the movie. What did you think of this movie, Todd?
Well, I have to say that if this was number 1 on this top 100 list and it truly counted this as the best movie on Netflix that no one's watched, then I've lost almost all faith in this list because this movie is horrendous. It, it's like I think it goes for one of these like movies where it's like you just follow these simple characters and I don't know, maybe a coming of age tale. It's hard to describe what it is. The biggest atrocity is that it's 2 hours and 43 minutes when really it could be an hour and 20-minute movie. It's ridiculous how long this movie is and how bad it was in my opinion. There is not really much redeeming this in my eyes. I can't decide if this would have been worse to see in the theater or was it worse to watch at home, because maybe 45 minutes into it, I really just wanted to start doing something else and stop watching the movie. At least in the theater, you know that you're kind of stuck and you just like are there. There's nothing you can do about it. Maybe you go get a snack or something. But when at home under quarantine, it's like there's other stuff I can be doing instead of watching this movie that I'm really not liking. Um, there's no likable characters in this. Like even the main character, I just found myself not liking, and it's there's really the only kind of I guess well known actor is old Shia, and I'm not a fan of his. I think he's horrible in this movie. I think the main character she wasn't that good either. I think the directing and the cinematography of this movie was really horrible. It just was so many weird close-ups that the camera would be shooting, and it just made no sense. And I downright disliked almost every character in this movie, especially the guy who kept pulling his penis out. There's one character in this movie who just kept showing his junk, and it was so frustrating because it's like it becomes the only thing about that character. It's like every time he was on screen, it's like you're just like it's like a countdown. You're just waiting for him to pull his junk out. So yeah, the story's stupid, the acting's bad. I hated almost everything about this movie. It was really bad. I'm frustrated I watched it, and I want my 2 hours and 43 minutes back. Honestly, it just it's so frustrating to think about. It was so bad. Don't watch it. Do not watch it. I typically will say go make your own opinion. Maybe you'll love it, but I cannot in good faith recommend anyone watch this movie. It's just that horrible. And that's stupid. There's like to me there's no lesson learned in this movie. There's no growth in this movie in my opinion. There's no nothing. It's just there. It's 2 hours and 43 minutes of kind of I don't know, nasty people who live this kind of nasty lifestyle and just lie to sell magazines, and it was horrendous. I hate everything about this movie. I'm very frustrated now. So I'm going to leave it at that.
All right.
Matt, what did you think?
Well, I one thing I did like about this movie, and I agree for the most part that it's not a good movie. So we'll start off by saying that. But uh, I have I've spent some time traveling around America in a van with a bunch of young people before when I used to be, a youth group leader, and we would travel around doing various weird and young people things. Nothing like what happens in this
True.
movie, but it,
No.
it did take me back to those times and the enjoyable parts about sort of a van full of people and all the different things that are going on in the van. Um,
It's true. A 15 passenger van, not just like a van, like you know, a fully loaded van.
yeah,
Pretty nice.
and this was 15 passenger van, and this movie had probably 20 people in it too. There were people on the sides and down in crevices and all over the place. So that part of it, I was like, well, this is sort of fun and interesting. They're out having an adventure and life and stuff like that. Um, but but I I think you hit it on the head when you said that the characters are so shallow because there's so many of them. There's no time to really get any background depth on anyone other than the main character, Rose. And even that, you don't really get much on her. You get what happens before she's in the van of people, and then everything else is like directly focuses on her, and everybody else is just kind of whatever their thing is. Like, are they the guy who whips out their penis at the drop of a hat, or are they the lesbian, or are they the hippie, or are they the guy
uh,
who plays guitar? Like
yeah.
these are the sort of the stereotypical characters and that's all they are in the movie. Is like you see shots of them being that thing, and that's it. So, um, yes, I would agree. It's a coming of age story. I really think that the I think what the director was going for and failed at was this is Star, life is hard, and Star figures out sort of how to make this life work for her and probably ends up in somewhat of a better life than where she was when she was being abused by her father or stepfather. It wasn't really clear to me. And uh, now she's at least out on her own making dubious choices. Um, and one thing I will say is, in addition to the sort of male nudity that's presented quite a bit for kind of joking around value, there's also quite a bit of sex in this movie. You aren't comfortable seeing that in a movie or seeing that in a movie, you probably want to skip this one because there are long sex scenes in this movie, not just
Yes.
one, but multiple times. So,
Yes.
uh, that being said, I think I liked it more than you, Todd, but probably not more. I think I'm probably going to come in with a higher rating, but not more. So,
At least it doesn't sound like you're frustrated. I'm frustrated. Like I feel unfulfilled and frustrated.
yeah, there were definitely times where I was like, "Oh wait, don't look at your phone. Don't play on your phone. You're paying attention to the movie to review it, and so you need to watch the movie." Including times where I had to rewind because I was like, "Oh, I just lost focus. What happened here?" So, but I watched it.
Mm. uh, well, nothing you can do now. We've watched it. We made it through.
We did.
So, um, how many 15 passenger vans would you give this movie?
So let's see. Aside from the joy of seeing people in a 15 passenger van traveling America, there was little else to really be joyful about in this movie. So I'm going to say like 1.5 15 passenger van. Not the worst movie I've ever seen,
Mm,
but not very good. What about you?
sure. I think it's not going to topple Cats as the worst reviewed movie for me, but it is pretty close because at least Cats wasn't 2 hours and 43 minutes.
Hmm.
I'm
True.
gonna give it a point 0.5.
Okay.
I, there was something near the start of this movie that drew me into it because I can get behind, like it kind of I got set up thinking this was gonna be a movie about, like, I don't know, traveling and adventure and like wanderlust maybe, and I can get behind that because I'm always down for a road trip, and traveling with friends is like one of the best things in life to me. But it did not deliver on that at all. That was not the point of the movie. So that's my own fault. I set myself up for that, but then I just got frustrated. So I'm at point 0.5, a firm point 0.5.
Well, all right. So, yes. So today we watched, not today, but recently we both watched the movie American Honey. And we reviewed it an average of one 15 passenger van out of five. So this is not really a movie that you should see. Um, yeah, leave it at that. Don't see this movie.
Yeah.
It's not good. And yep. So that's gonna wrap up this episode where we reviewed that movie, and um, we will see you next time on Matt and Todd Go to the Movies. Please keep listening, and you can give us feedback on our Facebook page, which is called Matt and Todd go to the movies, just like the podcast. So thanks for listening.
Correct. Oh, yeah. Thank you all for listening. Da 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 da.
Da da da
Da
da
da
da.
da.